Yo, you know this feeling that sometimes like creeps in when you know that there is some work that you have to do, but then you're like, you just don't feel good, or you just don't feel like, you can sit and work through it, right? So you have these days when you just have to work, but you don't do it because you don't feel like it, right? And in those days, what do you technically do? You don't acknowledge the fact that you are feeling bad or you are going through something that's not letting you work. Maybe you do, but then you don't take action on it. You don't face the thoughts, or maybe you just don't face it head on so that you can solve the problem that's actually disturbing your mind. And what you do is you probably engage in distractions. That's not the best solution for you in that sense. Like you could be feeling bad, and let's say you have to study for an exam that's coming up and you feel bad, or you just don't feel okay. So you're like, man, I just don't feel like studying today. I don't know. I just can't study. So I'm just gonna, just scroll reels or just go downstairs and play some games or just distract myself with other stuff that, makes probably would make me feel better. Like you think that doing the other things would make you feel better, would end up making you feel better. But then what it results in is that by the end of the day, you reflect, you just don't reflect, you don't you usually reflect like in a conscious sense. You just subconsciously reflect on your day and you're like, man, I wasted this whole day. And then that, puts your mood down for the days coming by. And we don't want that, right? We don't want to sit down at the end of the day just regretting the things that we have done throughout the day and just letting some negative emotion within ourselves to stop us from working that's actually gonna get us to a better state than we are currently, right? So think of the you when you set that goal way before that you wanted to seriously achieve. Maybe it was just out of some motivation, maybe it was just out of some drive, or you just saw some video and you got this feeling to pursue that thing. It doesn't matter. Now think about that version of yourself, right? You had a reason to set that goal that you are kind of procrastinating to work on, which would lead you to that goal. Now, keeping that aside, you need to think about one thing, which is something I've learned from a Charlie Morgan video, which I'm going to be sharing it right now with you all, which is think about the reason why you haven't gotten to that state where you have achieved all your goals yet. Like, let's say you want to get a Lamborghini and you want to live in a penthouse, with all the luxuries and stuff around you and stuff. And you know that you have to work really hard for it. Well, my question is, why haven't you gotten there yet? Because all those things are out of your auqat. All those things are out of, your reach. Like you just can't do it. The person that you are right now, you can attract those things into your life. And that's why, you don't have these things within yourself right now. The same thing applies to me too. So what can we do? When we understand that thing, we come to an understanding that to get all those things that we wanted, to get to the goals that we have set for ourselves, and to manifest what we have, dreamt of, like in the future and stuff, to have it all within ourselves, you need to become the person that actually attracts these things to their life. Like I know that you have been setting goals for each and every day and you don't feel like working and stuff, and you just have days of consistency, weeks of consistency, then it drops down to like weeks of inconsistency, and it just affects your overall work, right? Well then, when you understand the fact that to get to the goals that you want, to achieve all the things that you want, to live the life that you actually want, you have to be the person that actually is able to achieve all those goals and who already has all these luxuries. Like for the example that I mentioned earlier, the person who lives in a penthouse and has a Lamborghini and stuff. Think about that person. Like he attracted those things into his life. Maybe he worked hard for he or she worked hard for it, sure, but like that person has it all, right? Now think about yourself and that person. You have a goal, you have a dream that you need to work every single day towards, but then you are not the person yet that's going to get you to the goals that you've set for yourself. So rather than chasing these goals, why don't you try to chase the person? Why don't you try to chase becoming the person or adopting the identity of a person who has achieved all those things, or who deserves to achieve all those things, or who is able to attract those things into his life. Because when you start chasing identity, when you start chasing a specific type of a person that you have to become, who has achieved all the goals that you have set for yourself, it's like you then slowly become the person who is able to manifest all these things into their life. And then you just do it. Like, it begins from believing in yourself first. And I don't like to use that term, but it starts from that. Right now, maybe you would be feeling like, oh, I don't deserve to get there. Like, subconsciously, you might be feeling that. And that's probably the reason why you don't work hard enough. But then, tying yourself to an identity, for example, the same example that I've used before, like, all the luxuries and stuff, which is too materialistic. But then let's be fair. We all want that materialistic success first before like moving to like some inner shit or something. Thing is, what could be the, let's think this together, okay? What could be the identity of that person who has achieved all those things? He or she could be a relentless entrepreneur. We got it. Now start living every single day as a relentless entrepreneur. So when you have to work and you don't feel like working, and you want to just, take your phone and scroll, think to yourself, ask yourself this question: would a relentless entrepreneur engage in this distraction when they don't feel like working? No. So what will a relentless entrepreneur do? They would first acknowledge the fact that something is wrong with them, that they don't feel like working. Second, they would sit in silence with themselves to try to sort out the problem that they have been going through, which they don't know about, which you can only get to know about by reflecting on the stuff that has been happening in your life. And third, recovering from that, healing yourself from that. That's what a relentless entrepreneur would do, because a relentless entrepreneur is relentless. They're consistent every single day. So first thing, the goals and the dreams that you have set for yourself, identify each and every one of them, and then visualize the type of person who has achieved those things. And that identity, take it and just start believing that you are that identity who has already achieved these things, or who is going to achieve these things. So I could start living my day being like, okay, I am a relentless entrepreneur, but I'm not. But then when you keep believing in that every single day, you eventually move from the loser that you are to actually being a relentless entrepreneur, because then you base all the decisions that you take throughout your day as a relentless entrepreneur, as the identity that you choose to seek after or choose to adopt, so that you get to your goals and your dreams and everything. So now, when you don't feel like working, what are you going to do? I'm not going to answer. I have already answered, right? Sure, it is about the goals, but more importantly, it's about chasing the identity and not the goal of a person, of yourself in the future who has all those things, and believing that you are that. Most of us would not have the self-respect enough to believe that, oh, I am a relentless entrepreneur, relentless entrepreneur. But then it's only when you overcome that barrier of, lack of self-respect and start believing that you are this relentless entrepreneur that you actually become one, right? And it's just not for being a relentless entrepreneur, it's for being a topper, it's for being a CEO, or whatever goal that you have set for yourself. Identify the person who has achieved the goals that you have set. If it's like related to football, then footballer, or the best. I don't know what it could be, anything. Just start tying yourself with that identity every single day until you become that person. And trust me, bro, you might be thinking that all the stuff that I'm talking about in this video is BS, but then when the results actually start showing up, you're gonna come back to this video and be like, oh my god, this is so insightful. And like I've said before, I've gotten inspired, like the stuff that I've talked about in this video, a lot of it has been inspired from this YouTuber called Charlie Morgan, and a video that I saw of his, which really changed my perspective about everything. So check him out, watch him, and yeah, surround yourself with like-minded people, because then only would you be truly able to progress, right? Yeah, so that's all I had to say for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. I'll see you guys in another one. Peace. I don't do that shit, but like, let's do it. Nah, I'm not doing that shit again, bro. What the fuck? See you all, bro.